What's going on, guys? Black Dissident, and I want to talk to you guys about the Mossberg MVP Scout, and this one is chambered in 7.62 NATO. Safety check it, and it comes with a 10 round PMAG, but it'll take the 20 rounders as well. So, which is kind of silly on a bolt action gun, but if you don't want to worry about reloading, it gives you 20 rounds. Take you a minute to shoot them, but it's 20 rounds in a bolt gun. You can do that. I do have a 20 round mag, yes, and I have used it on the range and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I'll just run the 10 rounder. It makes for a much more streamlined package, and it's easier to manage as far as carrying it through the woods or anything like that when you're hunting. And obviously hunting, you ain't gonna need really a 20 round mag for whitetail deer hunting or anything like that, which is what I use this gun for so far, as far as a field application. And also, it's just a whole lot of fun to shoot. It's one of my favorite guns to shoot, and I really enjoy the recoil impulse of it. But it's just a real fun gun. I really like it a lot. And it came with the 2-7x32 Vortex mounted out forward for a traditional style Scout rifle setup. And I still have that scope. I actually used that entire out the box setup to kill my first whitetail, and he was probably, I'd say, 150, 175 yards, something like that. I didn't range him, but he was out there pretty far. We were shooting a gas line right away. Well, I was anyway, and it done the trick just fine with 150 grain jacketed soft point, no issue. Bullet did not penetrate the animal fully. It didn't pass through him, but actually hit his front shoulder, and it just piled him up. He fell down. He jumped back up, ran maybe 15 yards, and that's where I found him after I gave him enough time to settle down, so to speak. But that was a really good harvest. That was my first one, and that was with this gun in its prior setup with the Scout scope. But since then, due to the limitations that I felt of that with the long eye relief and a lot of just eye box issues and trying to acquire the target, and as more and more that I shot the gun on the range and stuff, I ended up just seeing that I didn't really enjoy that style of optic setup. So I went with a more traditional rearward mounted scope, and I went with the Nikon Buckmaster's 3-9x40. It's a pretty solid scope. It's inexpensive, pretty decent glass, and it holds zero. It's Nikon. It works well. So I've had good luck with it since then, hunting and stuff like that. It's awesome on the range, and I have no real complaints about it. It came with an A2 birdcage flash hider. Well, A2-ish, but obviously larger. And I took it off and put the thread protector on there that it actually came with as well. It's got a threaded muzzle, obviously, so I just put the thread protector on there. But I do have the flash hider still. So, but it's got a 16-inch heavy barrel, and this thing is just a solid little gun. I like it. It also came with this little simple 2-point sling with some no slip texturing right there, and it works fine. No big deal there, no issues. And it's got a full length rail up top, and you also get a rear peep sight and a front fiber optic sight. And I thought that was good too, because that was part of my criteria for choosing a rifle. Was, I wanted iron sights. I know a lot of the bolt guns and the hunting style rifles don't come with traditional iron sights. So I made up my mind that I wanted iron sights, at least for backup. Even if I can't use them with the scope mounted like this configuration, I still wanted to have that backup capability of having the irons on the gun, and make sure I have them zeroed and all that stuff. So that's part of the reason that I chose this gun as well. And also, I really like the aesthetics of it. I think it looks really good, feels good. It's got an adjustable trigger on it, and I think it's like their lightning bolt action or something like that Mossberg calls it. Really crisp, and you can tune that thing up and down as far as your pull weight. Mine is still set at whatever it came at, and I got no issues with it. It's plenty light enough, and you can, as long as you do your part, the gun will perform adequately. So when I first started hunting, I was using a 150 grain jacketed soft point. I think it might have been Federal or something like that. Like I said, no big deal. I was able to harvest a couple of deer that way, and then I wanted to be able to achieve full pass through on some of my hunting, just to kind of see what that might look like. So I increased my bullet weight to 180 grain, kind of just experimenting around to try to just learn some different stuff about true terminal performance of the 308 round or 7.62 NATO. It's actually chambered in 7.62 NATO, so, but obviously I'm shooting mostly 308 stuff off the shelf. But and right now what I also experimented with the 150 grain Nosler ballistic tip, but now I switched over to the 180 grain, and I just been hand loading them with the Lee loader, just one at a time, real simple, real primitive. And that's basically how I made a good bit of the ammo that I have on hand for this thing now. I even pressed out a bunch of 150 grain ball ammo just to get some range time in with this gun, so that I'm not shooting the more expensive stuff. But I still got some of the 150 grain nozzle ballistic tips, but I switched over and made a whole bunch of the 180s because I like the way they performed in the field with the white-tailed deer. So that's really what I switched to for actually hunting and stuff like that. So, but as far as just plinking, I got a bunch of hand loads over there. And also I did a bunch of shooting with it on the range and on the bench with the M80 ball. I think it's 148 grain projectile, full metal jacket, military spec stuff, old surplus overrun stuff. And you used to be able to get that stuff, you know, for a reasonable price. And I shot a good bit of it, and I just kept all my casings and I'd reload them and stuff. So that's pretty much what I got for you on this gun, but I really like it. I like how short and compact and handy it is. I like the iron sights, got a full length or a pretty long rail up top. I like that. And love the adjustable trigger. Got a little butt pad here for recoil absorption. Like I said, I like it a whole lot. Really like this gun. And I'm thinking about camoing it or doing a rattle can job on it or something. I ain't real sure what I'm gonna do yet or how I'm gonna go about it, but obviously it needs to be camoed, especially as a hunting rifle, but I just hadn't taken that leap yet. But that's why I just want to show you guys this and let you know that I really like this gun. If you've been looking at them or if you ever shot one, then you probably understand why I like it. And if you've been thinking about getting one, I really think they're pretty solid guns, for sure. I actually had one in 5.56, the regular MVP Patrol. I had it for a little while, and it takes AR mags as well. And it was okay. I liked it, but the feeding mechanism on it was a little bit kind of wonky. And every now and then, I noticed it would kind of have some minor hang-ups, some little snag issues when I was feeding it. And so, but for what it's worth, I ended up trading that gun or selling it or something like that. And then I was like, man, I really should have kept that gun because I always liked it. But then I saw the 308 one and I was like, yeah, that's definitely the one I'm going to get next time. So that's what I got. And it comes with a 10 round PMag, and you can use the 20 rounders as well. So if you want to. It looks a little bit goofy, but you don't have to worry about reloading for a good while, especially considering it's a bolt action. But for hunting and stuff like that, general use, I usually just rock the 10, and that's plenty. So, especially for a gun like this. But that's all I wanted to show you guys tonight, and I'll get back with you soon and try to get you some more stuff and try to just get back in front of the camera and just share some ideas and some thoughts with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate you. Be sure to hit those buttons and make sure you give me some comments and all that good stuff if you want to, and we'll have some discussions about it. To me, that's the really interesting part. That's just seeing what other people think and seeing what kind of stuff you guys are using and some of what you guys' experiences have been. Appreciate you. I'm out of here.